Hello, everyone. We are warming up now as we go back through the week. In fact, some of us might even be flirting with 90 again. So if you weren't a fan of the temperatures over the weekend and the frost advisories that we had in place last night, well, don't worry. Things are going to start to improve. Take a look at the coffee forecast, keeping it in the hot coffee category, but 55 degrees to start off a day right now is like right where we're supposed to be. So definitely nothing to write home at about there. And then our nights are going to kind of bounce around just a little bit here and there. So let's start with Monday morning, as you can see on the right. We're looking at temperatures largely in the 50s this time, just like I showed you with the hot coffee forecast, and maybe a few isolated 40s out there. But either way, it is looking much, much warmer than what we have been dealing with. Going into Monday afternoon, we're going to warm things up even more. In fact, some of us are going to welcome the 80s back already, although I am thinking that a lot of us are going to be hanging out in the 70s for most of the day, but 80 is not out of the realm of possibilities. We'll definitely have to keep a look. And like I said, nighttime lows, they're going to bounce around a little bit, so we actually have some cooler conditions coming our way into Tuesday morning, back down into the 40s and some 50s out there. As you can see, it'll be variable a little bit, and areas along the water are going to stay a little warmer during those overnight lows. But I do want to switch gears a little bit because we are tracking the tropics, and since we had the remnants of Beryl hit us with up to 7 inches of rain around Flint, we're going to be keeping an eye on that again because there are some hints that whatever does develop might actually be headed our direction. So as you can see here, this is what we call a spaghetti plot. Looks like spaghetti noodles all over the place. What it means is when all the models are kind of in the same area, that means it's more likely going to be happening, right? If it actually looked like spaghetti and was all over the place, that's not a good thing. That means there's just no rhyme or reason for what would happen. So here's the pattern. We have a high pressure, and I put the circles, the arrows around it because, well, high pressure spins clockwise, and that is going to steer whatever develops potentially right into the state of Michigan again. So this is one of the guidance spaghetti plot models. This is the ATCF guidance, so they're going to be grouped in these little categories. And this one, as you can see, large chance that it could be headed toward the Great Lakes. Could be is the key word. This is the Canadian model forecast solution. Again, the ensemble models here. Also, possibility for it coming in the Great Lakes, but it's not a slam dunk because now we have the global ensemble forecast system. Notice how it's stalling out a little further down to the south, and the European is even further down to the south from that. So a lot to watch, but that potential is definitely there. Also, something I'm doing now is we're doing 5 7-day forecasts. Those will be issued every Sunday so you can plan your week, and every Thursday so we can get a nice update for the weekend because who doesn't want to look forward to the weekend as much as possible, right? So we have your regions: Southeast Michigan, Mid-Michigan and the Thumb, West Michigan, Northern Lower, and the Upper Peninsula. And right now, these are on my Patreon. I will be making a 7-day forecast, again, Sundays and Thursdays. They're free this week, so if you go to Patreon, it is free, and then you can subscribe. It will be behind that paywall of about $2 a month, which again is cheaper than a hash brown at McDonald's now. Overall, here's just a little short-term forecast for you as we go throughout the next several days in Detroit. Again, climbing back up into the 80s, moving into that next region for the Tri-Cities specifically. This would include Flint and the Thumb. We're going up into the 80s as well. Notice over toward Grand Rapids, we could be in the upper 80s. We'll have a little bit of a southwest wind influencing the west side of the state there. Gaylord up north for northern lower Michigan, so that would be Traverse City, Mackinac. We're even looking at the 80s as well. And then the upper peninsula, you're also going to be in the 80s. So lots to track here and lots to look forward to. Again, don't forget, you can subscribe to Patreon. It's $1.99 a month starting off. If you want those bigger forecasts, though, that go further out, especially for winter time, I recommend the $5 a month area. And again, that's cheaper than anything you can get at a fast food restaurant these days still. You can also just hit that blue subscribe button under my Facebook name, under Meteorologist Brad Sugden. It's the same price. $1.99 a month, and you will get the forecast there. So it's just whatever you prefer, but Patreon does send you a nice little email and a nice little thing to the top of your phone. There will be a P up there, and that means that I posted something. You click on it, and you don't even have to worry about Facebook. Kind of cool. Also, that push notification came in handy when the Northern Lights were out 2 weeks ago. I said, hey, go outside now. The Northern Lights are out. I mean, how cool is that? So definitely something to keep in mind, and that's just roped in with all the other stuff you'll be getting from me. Please sign up before winter because the snow forecast, while I will post a lot of updates, the snow forecast maps themselves are going to be behind a paywall this time. So got to make a living here, right? Also, pretty excited. We got a couple sponsors interested as well, so you'll be seeing those coming my way soon. And if you're for some reason still listening to me, I do have consulting services available. So if you know anyone in snow removal or a city municipality, city buses, city snowplows, things like that, I am offering a seasonal consulting, which is $9.99 for the whole season, and that will get them access to everything, including one-on-one phone calls with me and a forecast that is drilled down as local as I can get it. So again, thanks for watching, and I appreciate you listening to me this whole time. Business is growing and I'm super excited. So thank you.